Hello folks, this is Sula speaking with another re-upload of one of my old League of Legends videos. This is a continuation of the previous tournament series as the official ButtonMasherz team competes against Blight Gaming. Some of you with long memories may recall that this was an early incarnation of Atlanta's team, which would later be known as A Picture of a Goose, and featured mandatorycloud, who spent a couple of years in the LCS. This video was originally recorded on August 10th, 2011. Enjoy!
Hello folks, and welcome again to another commentary video for League of Legends. My name is Sula and I'll be the commentator for this match. This is taken from the Go for Law Cup number 22. This is a match between the ButtonMasherz team and a team known as Blight Gaming. At the bottom, on the purple side of the map, we have the ButtonMasherz team. We have Funky Butt Lover playing as Alistar, Cheesy Fries playing as Malzahar, Dark Cloud playing as Corki, Gun Crazed playing as Jarvan, and QQ playing as Swain. On the other side, on the blue side of the map, we have the team known as Blight Gaming. This has mandatorycloud playing as Vayne, Wallstop playing as Amumu, Atlanta playing as Cassiopeia, Harari playing as Taric, and Lemongod playing as Cho'Gath. So we should be just about ready to get started here. Now, I don't know anything about this team Blight Gaming, but their best known member is Atlanta. He's a very well-known top-tier player who has sort of been searching for a team for a long time, and it looks like this is the one that he happens to be playing on now. Atlanta has bounced around between a number of different teams in the past, so should be a good match. Should be just about ready to get started here. This is, as I said initially, the Go for Law Cup number 22. This one was played, I believe, the last week of July, and just we have put the previous matches in this series up on the ButtonMasherz channel. So if you haven't seen them before, keep an eye and feel free to go back and check them out. I believe that this is the quarterfinals match from this competition. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that, but I believe that this is the quarterfinal match, so that means the final 8 teams in the Go for Law Cup. In any case, try to look at the matchups here. It looks like we have all the starting items here except for Atlanta, and there we go. Atlanta has a Doran's Ring. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see if they, looks like the ButtonMasherz do want to go for a level 1 fight here. They do have Alistar, very good at level 1. Jarvan's pretty good for a level 1 fight too. In any case, Swain also quite good with his binding, so let's see if we get some action here. Funky Butler going in pretty aggressively. Let's see if he manages to catch anybody here and get an actual engage right there. There is Atlanta's Cassiopeia dumping his poison all over the place. Cheesy Fry is going to use his silence there. But I don't think this is going to turn into a level 1 fight. I guess we'll see. Blight Gaming has an incentive to try to protect Amumu. Amumu, wow, starting with Regrowth Pendant. So, starting with Regrowth Pendant, he's very, very dependent on getting a strong leash on the blue buff. He can't do the blue with that Regrowth Pendant unless he gets some help from his teammates. So anyway, it looks like the ButtonMasherz were trying to stop that, but ultimately decided to back off. Didn't like the looks of that engage. Instead, they are going to help their own jungler, going to help Jarvan get started. Jarvan doesn't really need that much help because he did take the cloth armor route, but on the other side, Wallstop really needs a lot of help from his teammates or he just won't be able to take that blue buff. And as Amumu, he's going to be pretty weak. Oh, for whatever reason, looks like Cho'Gath. Oh, never mind. Cho'Gath is heading up the top lane. So, in any case, go through and we'll look at the lanes. Looks like both junglers are going to start at their blue, so nothing too surprising there. Anyway, this replay is from QQ's point of view, so I'll try to keep an eye on top a little bit more because that way the health bars do not get bugged. QQ is playing Swain. He started with Boots of Speed and 3 health potions. He's up against Lemongod's Cho'Gath, who has ended up taking the exact same starting items. Also has the boots, also has the 3 health pods. I'm assuming that the boots are mostly there, so each side can dodge the particular bindings that the other side has, so that QQ can dodge the Cho'Gath Rupture, so Lemongod can dodge the Swain binding, never move, roots. Anyway, in middle lane, Cheesy Fries playing Malzahar is up against Atlanta playing Cassiopeia. Cheesy Fries also has boots and 3 health pots. Atlanta has the Doran's Ring. So if they harass back and forth, it will be to the advantage of Cheesy Fries because Atlanta does not have any health potions. So we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, down here, Dark Cloud is playing Corki as he likes to do. Dark Cloud has played Corki in almost all of the games that I've seen the ButtonMasherz play. He is being supported by Funky Butt Lover playing as Alistar, has the boots, ward, and health potion. Pretty standard for supports, pretty common starting items there. Oh, although actually you often see a fairy charm, so he not quite typical, I guess. No fairy charm, no mana regen there. But Alistar does work as a support, gives a lot of utility to the team, can be tanky even without items. They are matched up against mandatorycloud playing as Vayne. Standard item starting, you can see Doran's Blade on both sides, and Harari playing as Taric, and he he has the fairy charm there, along with a couple of wards and a couple of health potions. Then the two junglers, Guncraze playing as Jarvan, which we saw started with the cloth armor, and then the Amumu player on the other side, Wallstop, who started with the regrowth pendant. Kind of interesting. Anyway, let's keep an eye up here on top lane. Looks like they're going for a gank, however, going to miss the Never Move binding, so I don't anticipate they're going to be able to kill Lemon God here. Doing some nice damage. Let's see, can they get enough? Nope, they needed to hit on that root from QQ, did not hit on that, and so as a result, not able to score that first blood. Would have been a nice advantage up there, but not able to get it. Anyway, Guncraze hiding in the bushes here. I feel like Lemon God has to know that he's up here. I suspect that's why he's playing so passively back there. So it looks like that Guncraze is going to choose to go back to base here. Looks like he did not do his red buff, and so was ganking without red. If he had had that red, maybe they would have been a little more successful. Maybe not so. Anyway, in mid here, still laning back and forth between Malzahar and Cassiopeia. Same stuff down in bottom lane. Haven't seen anything too much going on, but here comes Wallstop's Amumu, and that is why you ward this triangle bush. One of the most important brushes on the map to ward during the laning phase. Very important to gain control of that. Gives Dark Cloud and Funky Butt Lover advanced warning that Amumu is there, so they shouldn't be caught by this, I would think, now that they know that Amumu is there. And now he's going to come over into that burst. There's the Valkyrie coming in as the Taric stun comes in. There's the bandage toss though, and Dark Cloud's going to have to burn his flash, so he is going to make it out, but had to use that flash, so not the best outcome for the ButtonMasherz there. I'm sure that he would prefer not to have had to waste that flash there. Well, I guess it's not wasted. I mean, he did make it out, but they would have preferred not to have to use that since they did know that Amumu was there. Elsewhere on the map, it looks like Guncraze is going back to top lane again. He has picked up his red buff, so he has gone and done the lizard buff right there. Looks like he's going to circle around. Wow, they're going to be playing real aggressively now that Lemon God is pretty low on this harass. Maybe they're going to wait for the next. Looks like they're going to wait for. No, not going to wait for the next minion wave. Going to come in there, hit on the flagpole. Yeah, I don't think that timing was the best. I think he needed to go in when they had a minion wave at that tower. So a little surprised by that particular move there. I don't think that was the best timing there necessarily from Guncraze. Now he's going to back off and head back to jungling. So good idea, and Lemon God was quite low, but I think that the moment was maybe not necessarily right to go in there. Anyway, while we have a moment here, let's try to look at how people are doing in lane. Starting in the top lane, QQ has 26 minion kills, Lemon God has 24, so pretty even there. Not a whole lot of difference so far. In middle lane, Cheesy Fries 31, Atlanta 31. So no difference at all in that particular lane. It looks like Atlanta has done well to be able to stay in lane even with the Dorans and no health potions. Meanwhile, down here in bottom lane, Dark Cloud is usually really good at farming, 38 minion kills, and he's up against Vayne 32. So Dark Cloud's a little bit ahead, wouldn't say he's ahead by a lot, but has a slight advantage in lane. And it looks like everybody for Blight Gaming is going back to buy right around now, so they're going to have additional items. Anyway, there is the slow coming in for Lemon God. He's going to flash away, and it looks like he's going to survive just barely up in top lane. But that does mean QQ is going to have the advantage for now. And here comes the jungler, here comes Wallstop in, just to cover the lane, while presumably Cho'Gath's going to go back to base right there. So nice job by QQ, just barely falling short of enough for the kill. If he had had his Ignite up, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten that kill, but it looks like he used that a little bit earlier in the lane. Does Cho'Gath have an Ignite? Yep, Cho'Gath does have an Ignite, which is very key, very important for countering Swain. You need to be able to ignite him in teamfights. So they actually have 2 Ignites, no doubt done as a response to that particular Swain pick. If you're going to be laning against Swain, if this is a draft pick mode like this one, and you know that you're going to be laning against a Swain, then you pretty much need to take an Ignite. Otherwise, when you go into engage 1v1, he's going to win just due to the way that his ultimate works, due to the way he lifesteals. So otherwise, we might have seen Exhaust instead under other circumstances, but due to the fact that Cho'Gath player, due to the fact that Lemon God is laning against a Swain, I'm sure that that's why he took that Ignite. Alright, Guncraze going back, looks like he's doing his second clear of the jungle now, has picked up blue buff again, has picked up a Madrid's Razor, so it's going to make it much faster for him to jungle. A little bit of engage going in here. Wallstop is also up in top lane, so QQ going to back out. One thing about Swain is he can always heal himself off of minions if he has enough mana, so that's really more the limiting factor than life. Sort of like Nidalee, how she can always heal herself as long as she has enough mana. One weakness of being on the purple side of the map is that it puts Swain further away from the blue buff. Like, let's say if you're on the blue side of the map, it's easier to play as Swain, because then when you play in this lane, your blue buff is right here, so it makes it much easier to... It's just generally a little bit easier to play as Swain if you're on the blue side of the map, just because when you're on the purple side, your blue buff's over here, and Swain is always very dependent on blue in order to lane. Down here, it looks like Guncrazed is going to try to go for a gank on Atlanta. Atlanta now has boots in a second Doran's ring, so I'm just going to keep an eye on this lane and see if anything happens here. We'll see. They are pinging, so maybe a signal to try to go in here. Or Atlanta might know that he's here. We'll just have to see. If they use the Malzahar pool plus ult, they can initiate here. But doesn't look like they're going to. I see Guncrazed backing off. And it looks like Blight Gaming is going to try to make a play for this early dragon. And they picked a really good time to do it because Dark Cloud and Funky Butt Lover are back buying right now. So very nicely timed. Let's see if they'll be able to get this. And let's see who is going to get this dragon. I'm assuming that they're going to smite it. No, not taken. Guncrazed smite steals the dragon, so nicely done. Now here's the initiation, and also drawing first blood here. Very nicely done. Atlanta getting exhausted. Still can't see the health bars due to the fact that due to the way the replay works, but a lot of damage going back in. Harari getting killed as well. Now can they finish off Atlanta to get their 4th kill here? Let's see, 3 for 0 so far. Still chasing. Funky Butt Lover wants this kill. He wants Atlanta's blood, and there they go. Going to score that kill. So a dragon and 4 kills for the ButtonMasherz, and a humongous early advantage there. That could not have gone better for their team. No teleports here in top lane. Yeah, no teleports on either side, so not able to get into that fight, but a very nice job by the jungler, their Jarvan player, Guncrazed, in order to smite steal that dragon. It was low, it was out there for either team to take, and both junglers were kind of standing around. He was able to smite steal the dragon with his smite. I was watching the gold. I'm trying to get better at doing that. I know people have called me out when I've missed who got the dragon in games before, but I can't go back and rewind and check like you guys can when you're watching. Anyway, was watching the gold, did take that, and then because the players on Blight Gaming had all taken a lot of damage from fighting the dragon, the ButtonMasherz were able to clean up that fight afterwards, got a nice Malzahar ult, and were able to do a lot of damage there. So very significant early lead for the ButtonMasherz. With the dragon and 4 kills, it really does put them ahead, but Atlanta is doing a lot of damage to Cheesy Fries here, and that's going to be a kill right there. So a nice job by Atlanta there. Didn't see exactly how that got started, but he was able to hit on his poison, and then it was Twin Fang, Twin Fang, Twin Fang, and that is a lot of damage. One thing that Cassiopeia doesn't bring a lot of utility to the team, but she does deal a lot of damage, particularly in the early portions of the game. Anyway, wall stop back up here in top lane. QQ going to back off. If he plays defensively, he should be okay there nonetheless. Now I'm going to use his Nevermore / Never Move route. People can't seem to decide what to call that move. I'm just going to call it both of them. Anyway, more good ward coverage. See, ward revealing where Amumu goes. Looks like Wallstop tossed down a ward over there as well. QQ kind of needs to back off here. Maybe he didn't see that. Anyway, right there, going to pop his ultimate, but he's being silenced. There's the feast, there's the ignite, and no, he's going to get finished off. So a bit of a misplay there from QQ. I feel like if he saw Amumu go into the brush, he should not have gotten caught by that. And now Atlanta's up here as well, so Guncrazed 1v3, they can dive him at this tower. Atlanta popped the Cassiopeia ult, but it looks like he wasn't facing Atlanta at the time, so only slowed, not stunned, so should be able to survive. Here comes Cheesy Fries up here as well to try to help out. It looks like he's going to head back to mid right now. So a bit of a mistake coming in there on the part of the ButtonMasherz. Their top and their middle lane both dying there somewhat unnecessarily. Cheesy Fries hanging out here. Looks like he might try to go for wall stop. If he can hit his pool plus ult combo, I think he can finish him off. Let's see if he's going to be able to get this here. No, going to decide to back off. Huh. A little surprised there. I feel like if he had used pool plus ult, and if he has his, does he have an ignite on? Yeah, if he used pool plus ult plus ignite, I feel like that would have been enough to kill Amumu, but looks like he decided to back off. Anyway, since we haven't looked at bottom in a while, let's take a look down at this lane. Dark Cloud, double Dorans, Berserker Greaves, and has a Phage building towards his Trinity, presumably. Funky Butt Lover going pretty standard support route, has the Philosopher's Stone there. Meanwhile, Mandatory Cloud, double Dorans, and Berserker, so he's behind a Phage, so he's behind about 1,000 gold, and Taric has not managed to finish a Philosopher's Stone, so pretty far, ButtonMasherz is pretty far ahead down in this bottom lane. Dark Cloud, 105 minion kills, Vayne 74, yeah, so they're ahead by quite a bit down here in bottom lane overall. They're doing the best down there in that bottom lane. Let's see, QQ, let's see how many minion kills does he have. 77 for QQ against 54 for, wow, he's way ahead of Lemon God here. That's a little bit surprising. I think that Cho would do a little bit better, but does have his Catalyst, does have double Dorans right now, has entry-level boots. Lemon God has Catalyst, and look at this, has gone for Negatron Cloak to try to help him lane against Swain once that early magic resist. So an interesting item buy. Makes perfect sense, though, on Cho. You are presumably going to build a Banshee's Veil at some point on Cho, so makes sense. Guncrazed harassing Atlanta a little bit. Since we didn't look at mid before, keep an eye on this. Cheesy Fries has gone for double Dorans and now the Needlessly Large Rod, so he has a lot of early ability power. Atlanta has double Dorans, Sork Shoes, and the Blasting Wand, so he's going to be faster than Cheesy Fries in the lane, but he's not going to have quite as much ability power. Wow, he has a lot less. Cheesy Fries has 132, Atlanta has 35. In terms of minion kills, Cheesy Fries 92, and Atlanta has 78. So the ButtonMasherz are doing quite well in the laning phase. I saw an exhaust come out there too, so it looks like Vayne needed to use exhaust to survive the lane there. Otherwise, Dark Cloud might have been able to burst the Vayne player down. Anyway, wall stop circling around here. More good ward coverage. Cheesy Fries should be able to avoid this, and indeed, notice he's going to back off. He knows that Amumu's there. This is another really good place for ward, by the way, for anyone watching. This is a really useful spot to ward. If you're on the purple side of the map, this is a good spot. If you're on the blue side of the map, that's a good spot. Just covers a lot of jungle entrances, lets you be able to see when the jungler's moving around between buffs, that sort of thing. Gives you early warning of anyone heading onto the river. Just a nice place to put down a ward. So QQ still laning up here in top. Again, there haven't been any major plays on each side since that big dragon. Well, no, that's not true. There were 2 kills, but the dragon fight has been the biggest issue in the game so far. Dragon will be back up in, I guess, about 1 minute, so I would expect both sides are trying to get ready for that. Dark Cloud has just gone back to base to buy. He's picked up a Sheen. I'm presuming that that's so he'll be ready for that dragon fight. When your teams get to sort of this level of play, they really do think about and time when they're going to go back to base so that they can be ready to fight at particular points in time. Anyway, Gun Crazed getting ready to go in here against Atlanta, but looks like not going to turn into anything. Atlanta pretty safe, just going to back out there. Whatever Gun Crazed was trying to do there didn't work out. Meanwhile, Wallstop, the Amumu player, went to bottom lane. Oh, up here, looks like we have a fight. I see QQ's health bar going down, taking a lot of damage. Looks like he's just going to run his ult for a little bit in order to heal up there. And that's the way it is with Swain, as I said before. He can always heal himself, but notice how he had to use almost all of his mana in order to do that. Again, they would really like to get a blue on Swain, I have the feeling, but just not too accessible. Anyway, a dragon is up. Let's see if the ButtonMasherz are going to fight for it. They have tossed down a vision ward there, so we will keep an eye on this. I'd expect both teams to be getting ready to fight for this. Cheesy Fries, going back to base, has picked up Sork Shoes as well, likely in anticipation of that dragon fight that's coming up. In the meantime, looks like ButtonMasherz are not going to go for this right now. They're just content to ward it, but I would expect that they're looking for a time when they can fight for this. We'll just keep in mind, Blight Gaming presumably also getting ready for this fight. Wall stop hanging out here. Yeah, both junglers need to stay near the bottom of the map if you're getting ready for a dragon fight. Just like later in the game, your jungler needs to stay near the top of the map so that you can be ready for a Baron fight. You need to have that smite ready for Baron in the later stages of the game. Gun Crazed hanging around mid, again trying to go after Atlanta, but just not successful so far on these particular ganks, if that's what he's trying to do. I'm a little surprised. Looks like he's going to go head up and clear Wraiths. A little far away from the dragon now. I feel like he probably needs to stay in this area just so he can be ready to fight, but the problem is he's done all his neutral buffs. Notice that this side of the jungle has been completely cleared, so it looks like he's going to go do red. If Blight Gaming has this warded or spots him out with a CV, they might try to sneak in a dragon while he's up there at red. We'll have to see. Anyway, down here, it looks like a fight coming in back and forth. Again, can't see the health bar, so don't know how damaged these two sides really are. Funky Butt Lover popping his heal. Doesn't look like anyone's going to get killed here, but just going to keep an eye on this lane just in case. Hard to tell again, since we're limited to using this observer or replay mode that doesn't have real observer stuff. Anyway, Lemon God is tanky enough now that QQ can't really kill him or hurt him, so this is pretty much just a farm fest lane. Nobody can really hurt each other there. Anyway, now we have the dragon fight coming in. Cheesy Fries and Gun Crazed going for this. A little risky. They have been clairvoyanced. Let's see if Blight Gaming comes in. Nope, not going to be there in time, so ButtonMasherz are going to take the second dragon of the match. So nicely done. I got drag, yeah, 23-32. Okay, in any case, going to take the second dragon, so that's another nice early victory for them. ButtonMasherz are doing a nice job. They're farming very well in lanes. They've taken both of the first two dragons, and they have are ahead in kills as well. Are ahead 4-2 in kills, so doing a nice job. Corki just, even after some of the nerfs he's been given, Corki just so strong in lane. I believe that, I can't remember if this is before or after the patch where Corki's Phosphor Bomb was nerfed. Anyway, QQ taking damage. Here comes Wallstop, but it looks like QQ's going to be okay. He's going to survive on about 80 HP there. Going to make it back out. Someone going to have to come up to cover this tower, and indeed, here comes Gun Crazed. So, just fortunately tanky enough that he was able to survive that jungle gank. Looks like when they saw the ButtonMasherz going for the dragon, that the jungler on the other team, Wallstop, decided to go top to try to get a kill there, but not successful. QQ making it out, so QQ doing a nice job. Aside from that one mistake where he apparently didn't see Amumu in the rush, has played a very nice game thus far, and is just sort of building up, getting tankier as Swain. Excuse me. So let's just look at the farming stats again. ButtonMasherz doing a really nice job. They're pretty far ahead in farm. Notice 135, 164, 130 against 145, 128, 104. So they're pretty far ahead overall. Their jungler's quite a bit ahead too, 88 against 58. So with that and the two dragons, they're definitely ahead at this point in time. And here's what they wanted to do: get that blue buff on Swain so that then he can just run his ult over and over and over again. See, his ult does almost 100 magic damage per second. Well, no, not per second. Per Raven, I guess is the term we want to say there. Still, no towers have gone down on any side. We still have every tower in the game still up at the getting close to the 20-minute mark. Anyway, down here, there's an exhaust going in on Vayne. Harari is taking a lot of damage, but there's the counter exhaust on Dark Cloud. Exhaust on both of the AD carries. Now Funky Butt Lover taking a lot of damage. Going to pop his ult, headbutting Harari into the wall. Can they finish off this kill? Yes, going to get that kill. And then Funky Butt Lover is going to flash back so he can get out of the danger zone, make it back to safety. So a nice kill there. QQ, I think that they were a little surprised by QQ being down here in bottom lane, since he's been sitting top the entire game, but down at bottom for the moment. He went down there to get that blue. Anyway, it looks like QQ will hold this lane for the moment, while Dark Cloud and Funky Butt Lover head back to base to purchase. So anyway, harassment coming in, but again, QQ just turns on his ult, and all of a sudden he's healed right back up to full. With that blue buff, let's see how much mana regen he has. Where is mana regen on here? There it is, 140 per 5, so yeah, he's not going to be running out of the blue stuff anytime soon. Meanwhile, Guncraze is just holding top. Jarvan is perfectly fine to sit top and just farm and lane against Cho'Gath for the moment. They will probably send QQ back up there relatively soon, though. Yeah, here he is going to go back. Anyway, has picked up Rod of Ages. Great item for Swain. Usually the first item that people pick up on Swain. Makes him tankier. Swain needs to be tanky. Gives him extra ability power. And the mana never hurts either. Not too much else going on. It has been a relatively passive game so far, mostly farming. We did have the one dragon fight, but that's really been the only significant action thus far in the first 20 minutes. Funky Butt Lover has walked into a little bit of trouble here. I guess he's going to be able to get out of it with his pulverize, though, with no trouble. No real damage dealers there, just Taric and Amumu, neither one really doing much damage, so even if he walks into trouble, going to be able to escape with no real issue. Funky Butt Lover has an Oracle, early Oracle on him. Well, not early at this point, 21 minutes isn't really early anymore. Dark Cloud doing a lot of damage. Looks like Amumu is going to have to use his ult defensively to make it out of here. Let's see, yeah, everyone's going to make it out for Blight Gaming, but that's probably not how they wanted to use the Amumu ult. He kind of had to burn it to get away. Already having a Trinity Force on Dark Cloud. Trinity Force, triple Dorans, and Berserker Goose. Anyway, the tower going down. Now they're engaging, and down goes Harari. Let's see, are they going to be able to pull a kill on Wallstop? Mandatory Cloud coming in as Vayne. Looks like Vayne has popped her ult, and indeed, down goes Dark Cloud. Vayne chasing after Funky Butt Lover. Going to be able to make it out? I don't think so. There's the Pulverize. There's the Alistar ult, but I still don't think this is going to be enough, and no. So Mandatory Cloud, the Vayne player, coming in, popping that ult, and cleaning up 2 kills. So 1 for 2, not a good trade overall, especially because the ButtonMasherz was already ahead. Still, they did get the tower, first tower of the match down, and they're not certainly still in a very good position in this match, but that definitely helped out Blight Gaming a lot to get 2 kills on Mandatory. Oh, I guess Mandatory Cloud only got 1 of the 2 kills. It's still a kill and an assist on Mandatory Cloud. Anyway, QQ can really push the lane when he has that blue buff. Just he can run his ult on every minion wave, just nuke them down with the Raven form, and that will allow him to push on this tower. It's already taken a fair amount of damage. It's taken about 1,500 damage, just short of that. In terms of itemizing on the other champs, wow, he went ahead and finished his Banshee's Veil, so he really wants that magic resist. Has Merc Treads and Banshee's Veil. QQ has finished Merc Treads as well, so it looks like it's going to be a game with a lot of magic resist on both sides. Both sides have AP as their 2 solo lanes. Cho'Gath, Cassiopeia, Swain, and Malzahar. So yeah, indeed, looks like it's going to be a lot of magic resist game. Guncrazed has now also picked up an Oracle. Oh, Funky, wow, 2 Oracles here. Why do they have so many Oracles? No stealth champs on the other team. I think they might have over-invested a little bit in Oracles here. Maybe a little weakness of team communication. They probably don't need double Oracles at this stage of the game just because there's no stealth champs. Anyway, a turret Where did the turret just go down? Oh, mid. Turret taken down in mid. Looks like Cheesy Fries has been pushing this lane pretty hard, as Malzahar normally does. Anyway, Cheesy Fries has the death cap and another blasting wand, so he is very farmed already. Let's see what Atlanta has. He's gone for Abyssal as his first item. Wow. Abyssal Scepter, first item. Wow, interesting. You don't see that very often. Anyway, Dragon is back up. Looks like everybody is ready for a Dragon fight. Blight Gaming really needs to win one of these Dragon fights relatively soon, because otherwise they're just going to start to get snowballed out of this match. You can't keep giving up Dragon after Dragon after Dragon to the other team, or you will just fall too far behind. Anyway, both sides waiting here. There goes clearing a ward, but ButtonMasherz have very good vision due to this ward here. They can kind of see everything that's going on. Probably might want to go in and engage while Atlanta's not here with the rest of the team. Anyway, in top, QQ just still pushing, doesn't have blue, can't really get into the fight there since neither side has teleports. Anyway, going to start this Dragon fight, going to bait out the Dragon, so we should see some kind of an engage here. Have to keep an eye and see on who actually gets this. Again, it would be nice if the replay was from someone who is actually in this team fight instead of someone in top lane. But there's nothing I can do about that. Anyway, Funky Butt Lover just running into the middle of the team. He's taking a lot of damage. There goes his ult. I feel like this is too aggressive of an engage. He took too much damage before he went into the fight. There's the Amumu ult, freezing everyone. Funky Butt Lover is going to die as soon as that ult wears out. Nope, gonna flash out there. Atlanta going down for the Malzahar ult, though. A lot of damage coming in here on both sides. Who is going to fall next? Gun Crazed is the next one to fall. And now Dark Cloud did pick up another kill on Harari. Meanwhile, Mandatory Cloud chasing after Funky Butt Lover, going to get that kill. So it looks like 2 for 2 here. 2 for 2 in that Dragon fight. However, Gun Crazed was one of the ones who went down, so that means no smite for the ButtonMasherz, which means that likely Blight Gaming will be the one to go for this and get this Dragon. Don't know for sure because you can't see there, but I feel like with the jungler dead on the side of the ButtonMasherz, that means that the advantage is on the side of Blight Gaming, just because they have that smite and they can take that Dragon. So we'll see. They may not have done Dragon, but I feel like they probably did. We'll have to wait and see if we get sight there, since this replay is from the ButtonMasherz perspective. So relatively even fight. Now, not that big of a deal. Pretty much an even exchange, but if Blight Gaming turned that into a Dragon, then they came out ahead. We'll have to wait and see again for the next time we have sight. And there it is. So Blight Gaming did take that Dragon, so it's now 2-1 Dragons in favor of the ButtonMasherz. Even exchange on kills, but not an even exchange when you consider the Dragon there. Anyway, Dark Cloud now coming up here into top lane. He has picked up a Negatron Cloak as well. Looks like he probably wants a Banshee's Veil since he also bought a Catalyst. Anyway, QQ hasn't been back to base for a while. Is he going to buy Needlessly Large Rod here? That was what I would imagine the item would have to be. And yep, there it is. So he wants the ability power. It's going to make a big difference getting up to the 200 range. I guess he was around a little above 100 before that. Anyway, while we're just sitting around waiting, and then QQ's going to take blue buff. Yeah, you can see he's already headed there. While we're waiting, we'll look at the numbers again. Well, ButtonMasherz still doing a nice job in farming. Two champs just going over 200. Nobody quite over 200. Well, Mandatory Cloud just going over 200 as I look at it here on the scoreboard. Still ahead in farm, still ahead with the global gold benefits, still ahead 8-6 in kills, but this is a very even match overall. Not much difference between these two sides. It's really anyone's match. ButtonMasherz do have 2 towers down, so that will help them out. That does give them a lot of access, particularly to this red buff here, with the middle tower and the bottom tower being down. Anyway, I realize as I'm saying this now that my voice is going a little bit as I do this video, so maybe I should have I should have picked another time to commentate on this, but halfway through the video right now, and we're going to keep going at this point rather than try to stop and pick it up later. So again, apologies if my voice is a little bit off or sounds a little bit tired as I go through this. Anyway, that said, like I said before, game is very even right now. Lemon God, the only one a little bit under-farmed. He's a little bit under-farmed. I mean, Gun Crazed has almost as many minion kills as he does, and Gun Crazed is the jungler. This is probably the biggest difference. Gun Crazed, 149 minion kills, 78 for wall stop. So Gun Crazed has really out-jungled him. We'll just see if that turns in, see how that, what the result of that is as we start to go into late game. Anyway, great clairvoyance there by, who has the CV? Harari, the Tark player on Blight Gaming, spotted 3 champs heading to top lane as the ButtonMasherz got ready to go for this tower. So that means that they will be able to react by shifting their own champs up there. Otherwise, they can just dive this tower with 4 and they'll kill Lemon God and get the tower. But not able to do that. The clairvoyance spotted out the move that they're making, and you can see the ButtonMasherz are backing out. So really nice job by the Tark player Harari. Alright, let's see what is going on in this game right now. It looks like everybody's kind of grouped up around Baron. Wallstop has picked up an Oracle, just cleared the wards that ButtonMasherz had, so now they've lost all vision on this river. Again, a nice Oracle buy. Amumu is probably the champ they wanted on. Amumu or Taric, or, well, Cho would also be pretty good on Cho'Gath too. So that will make things a little bit tougher for the ButtonMasherz. I thought that Blight Gaming waited a little too long to get an Oracle. Usually teams start picking up Oracles around the 15 to 20 minute mark. Earlier than that if there are stealth champs in the game, but just to clear wards, that sort of thing. Blight Gaming pushing on this middle tower, not too seriously, just putting a little pressure on it here. I expect that the next big fight we're going to have is around Baron. Uh-oh, QQ walking into a bad spot there. He's been exhausted. Let's see, there's the Rupture coming in from Cho'Gath, and right there, is he going to survive here? He's still running that ult. Is he going to make it out of this? And yes, he is going to make it out. Meanwhile, the rest of the ButtonMasherz team is doing a lot of damage, chasing after Harari. Over here, Lemon God still chasing, being engaged upon by Cheesy Fries. Harari going to go over the wall, but Guncray is going to follow him right over the wall. And meanwhile, up there in top lane, Cheesy Fries is not going to be able to chase him down. Oh, another fight coming in here. Atlanta going to use his ult on Dark Cloud and Guncray. Is Atlanta going to be able to chase this down? I don't think he's going to be able to. Looks like they're going to be able to make it out. Oh, still chasing after Cho. Lemon God is relatively low, but I think he's going to make it back. So 3-0 in favor of the ButtonMasherz. Another fight in their advantage. Can Atlanta pick up this kill on Guncray? I don't think he's going to be able to. Nope. Too much magic resist, too tanky. And now Atlanta taking a couple tower shots here from as he tries to make his way back out. So a huge victory for the part of the ButtonMasherz. Yeah, and then Dark Cloud going to clean up that tower too on the way back out. Huge win, 3-0. It looked like utter disaster there, but QQ was just barely able to survive, running his ultimate, and then the whole team for Blight Gaming just started chasing after him and ran into very dangerous positions where they were able to be cleaned up by the rest of the ButtonMasherz. So that's one of those engages that you don't want to fight, but it ends up working out for you anyway. Very key that QQ had the blue buff during that whole fight. He was able to run his ult the entire time, keep healing himself up, just heal with all those ravens flying around. And that was really the key. The fact I think he went down as low as about 100 HP on several occasions, but each time that ult just kept healing him, and he was able to survive. A little bit like chasing a Mundo when his ult is running, and you keep thinking you're about to kill him, but nope, you never do. Anyway, I didn't see if they got an ignite on QQ during that fight. I don't think they did. I'd have to go back and look, but I think that may have been part of the problem as well. I don't know if they were able to get an ignite on him. Of course, maybe they did, and I'm just being stupid, and I didn't see it, but there was a lot going on in that fight. Feel free to go back and check. If they didn't get an ignite on him while his ult was running, then that was probably part of the reason why he survived as well. Anyway, so 11-6 now in kills for the ButtonMasherz. They have all the initial turrets. They are ahead in global gold, still have ahead two dragons to 1, and they've outfarmed their opponent by a decent margin, not a huge margin, but they are ahead in farm, so they're really in great shape at this point in time. Taric, poor Harari, is very underfarmed. He only has Philosopher's Stone. He hasn't even finished Merc Treads or an Aegis, which is what he's probably going for next. Just going to kill that ward there, not going to go for Baron. Meanwhile, the support, Funky Butt Lover, he has Heart of Gold, Philosopher's Stone, and cooldown boots. Yeah, so he's just been ahead in his build thus far. Both the supports in negative numbers, but that's pretty standard. You can't really pay too much attention to kills, deaths, and assists when you're looking at supports. Anyway, are they going to go for this Baron is the question. I feel like it would be a little too risky to go for this. They're in a great position in this game. They're probably just going to bait the Baron and try to force Blight Gaming to react. Atlanta taking some harass there. He has Will of the Ancients and he has Abyssal Scepter, so it looks like he's just going for straight team auras there with that itemization. Anyway, going in for this Baron, and ButtonMasherz going to take the Baron right there. So wow, very, very nicely done. Scored a free Baron. They're in a very strong position in this game right now. And that at this point, it's kind of their game to lose from this position. Just even though they're only ahead by 5 kills, it's just their control of the neutral buffs, their farming advantage, the fact that they have 3 towers down to 0 on the part of Blight Gaming just means that they're really ahead at this point in time. And they're going to clean up another dragon here, so should put them ahead 3-1 in dragons if they don't back out. No, yeah, it looks like Blight Gaming isn't even there. So, yep, there they go. 3-1 in dragons. QQ has another blue buff. They're just really in control of this match at this point in time. Alright, let's look again just at the items here while we have a minute. Dark Cloud has picked up another BF sword. We'll see if he builds that into Infinity Edge or Bloodthirster. Probably Bloodthirster. People usually seem to build that more on Corky. Cheesy Fries has a Void Staff now too. Excuse me, has a Void Staff now too, so has even more magic penetration. Funky Butt Lover has not gone back to buy. Gun Crazed now has Banshee's Veil and Glacial Shroud. Interesting. I wonder why the Glacial Shroud. I guess he just went to the cooldown reduction. And now here's a Will of the Ancients on Swain as well. So that makes sense. You don't want it on both AP champs. And admittedly, between Malzahar and Swain, it would make much more sense to get Will of the Ancients on Swain, because he already is getting, he's all about, you know, life stealing back from the other team. Anyway, looks like they're going to push on this middle tower here. If they just do a straight 5-on-5, we'll see. They probably can win just a straight 5-on-5. Alternately, they can wait for these side lanes to push. Notice the side lanes are pushing in favor of the ButtonMasherz, and then try to force some movement out of Blight Gaming. Force them to go defend other lanes. Just force them to rotate. Diving a turret is rarely a good idea, but they might be far enough ahead that they can just straight do that. There's the pool. Going to do a little bit of zoning. Dark Cloud not there to poke at the tower, though. That's kind of what they need. And yeah, they're able to get on a little poke, but not too much. The tower took about 400 damage. If Dark Cloud had been a little bit closer, he could have gotten maybe 2 or 3 more shots. Would have been significant, but oh well. Anyway, that Baron halfway over. They really want to get something out of this Baron, whether it's pushing this tower, pushing a side tower. You want to get some kind of tower out of your Baron buff here. So let's see if they go in on your. Wow, Amumu's standing in the pool for a long time, and there comes the poke from Dark Cloud right there. Going to use his Valkyrie out. So there we go. He got a lot more damage on that trip. Now the tower is almost halfway down. And if they just do the same thing on the next 2 waves, they'll be in really good shape. Notice how this lane's pushing in their favor. They don't have to worry about defending any side lanes. Just wait for this next minion wave. Do the same thing. Poke it down to about 700 life, and then they can finish it off on the next wave after that. So a nice job here, not getting overly aggressive, not pushing in. Anyway, it looks like, oh, well, never mind that. Funky Butt Lover is going in, has popped his ult, but taking so much damage right there from the Cho'Gath Feast. Anyway, one of them has gone down. Wallstop has gone down. Now more kills going down. 2 kills in favor of the ButtonMasherz right here, but they are taking a lot of damage here. There's an engage from Gun Craze. He's going to head back out, though. Lots of flashes on both sides. 2 for 1. Funky Butt Lover was taken down. Still got a tower, went 2 for 1. Not bad overall. They may be able to push on this inhib, depending on how much heal they have. Unfortunately, they kind of lost their healer. They lost their support. It's a shame that Alistar's not still here. He'd be able to heal up the team. That would make it a lot easier to push on this. So we'll see if they get. They need Dark Cloud to push this tower, but they need to keep him safe to push on this tower. And nope, looks like Cho is doing a nice job of nuking down this wave, and they're going to have to back out. So a very nice defense by Atlanta and Lemon God there to push back that assault and keep their inhib up. So ButtonMasherz going to do what they can, going to head into the jungle, and looks like they are going to steal this blue. So a good push overall. Definitely nothing wrong with that push, but could have gotten a little bit more out of it, unfortunately, for the ButtonMasherz. They did get a tower, but they were in a strong position, and they'll probably be a little bit disappointed that they didn't get more out of that. Alright, both sides going to back off. Looks like both sides going to buy and get ready for the next fight. Baron is off of the ButtonMasherz. Oh, Cheesy Fry is getting chased by Mandatory Cloud. Looks like he did pop his ult because I saw him stealth there. But looks like Cheesy Fry is going to be able to back off and escape without any real problems. ButtonMasherz still have all of their towers up, I believe. But looks like they're going to lose their mid one right here because there's 4 people from Blight Gaming pushing on it, and they don't have the champs there to defend. So did lose their first tower of the match. Not a huge deal. You never want to give up towers for free, but not something you ever want. Anyway, Atlanta getting caught by that bind. If this is a straight up fight, QQ probably going to win just because he has all of that healing power. But it's not going to be a straight up fight. Here comes Mandatory Cloud. Here comes Harari. And looks like Blight Gaming. Oh, look at this. While Blight Gaming pushes that top tower, ButtonMasherz are going to push straight for the inhib here. Now, this is a move that I've seen Team Solo Mid do a lot of the time. Reginald, it seems to be pretty good at sniffing out plays like this. But ButtonMasherz is just going to ignore that and go straight for the inhib. Nope. There it is. Going to back off there. Looks like they were able to force Blight Gaming to respond. Didn't have quite enough champs to dive there. And instead, they're going to go over here and pick up this red buff. Okay, so weren't quite able to dive the tower and get the inhib. I guess they were just didn't feel like they had the damage to do that. And the Dark Cloud in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, Atlanta might be in trouble. There's Headbutt Pulverize. Let's see if we get a large engage here. Funky Butt Lover has popped his ultimate. He's going to probably die as soon as that runs out. A lot of damage coming in on both sides here. There's the Amumu ult being fired off. QQ running his ultimate, but he does not have blue buff, and that's pretty significant. He has been ignited here. Lots of damage. Gun Craze is going to pop Jarvan ult, but he has gone down. And QQ has run out of mana, and this is what I talked about, how Swain needs to have that blue buff. So that did not work out for the ButtonMasherz. 0-3, unfortunately. they lost that fight. And, oh, they didn't have, for whatever reason, Dark Cloud wasn't with them. Anyway, Dark Cloud trying to clean up whatever kills he can before he gets taken down. Looks like he, oh no, looks like he went 2 for 0. Can he chase down Mandatory Cloud? No, not able to get the kill on Vayne. So, not able to get that kill. Was able to take this tower, but ultimately ButtonMasherz did lose that fight. But as I said, I really think a key to that fight was QQ did not have blue buff, and when he didn't have blue, he ran out of mana in the middle of that fight. The other thing is, he was ignited in that fight, as you'd expect. So good job by Blight Gaming. But you know, when he's not able to run his ult, when he didn't, because he didn't have blue, that was a lot of damage. And there were a bunch of people on Blight Gaming who limped out of that fight on maybe, you know, 200, 300 health. If, you know, Swain ult runs another 4 or 5 seconds, they all die, and maybe the ButtonMasherz win that fight instead. So a bit of a setback there. That's probably not how they wanted to play things there. They did get the tower, but overall, I don't think that was a good trade. Anyway, Baron will be back up very soon. This tower may be going down. I'm not sure quite how much damage it's taken. Looks like Guncrazed is going to head up there, but that tower is going to take a lot of damage here. Yep, there it is. There's Baron. So both teams are going to have to be ready to fight for this. They have to be ready to fight for this Baron, because that will be the next big objective of both sides. The Oracle's going up on all sides. People want to be able to clear those wards and just get ready for this fight. I have to imagine that they're going to spot this ward pretty soon. For the moment, it's giving them vision, but pretty soon, probably going to get cleared by the Oracle of the other team. Anyway, QQ does have blue buff for this next fight, so that's pretty key on his part. Just as we saw in that last fight when he didn't have it, it didn't really go that well for the ButtonMasherz. Anyway, there's Cho. Oh, right there, I didn't even see that. Guncraze got picked off, and that is a big, big mistake right there. That means they're going to be down a player before this fight even starts. QQ getting focused, and yeah, getting focused, not able to run his ult. So this is not going well at all for the ButtonMasherz right here. Now Dark Cloud is getting engaged upon, and let's see, he's going to get blown up as well. So a 1 for 4, just disaster for the ButtonMasherz there. I didn't see that. Really disappointed that I missed that one, but Guncrazed apparently got caught by the enemy team, and that just spun the fight initially. He was bursted down before the fight even started, and when you're in a close, tight match like this, you can't afford to lose one of your champs before the fight even starts. So ended up going 1 for 4 there. Not a good fight, and now it looks like Blight Gaming is going to take this Baron. Cheesy Fries doing his best. We'll see. I guess he has a slight chance, but now with Smite on the other team, not going to be able to get that. At this level, people don't miss on their Smites very often, and the Amumu player, Wallstop, did exactly what he was supposed to do. Smited the Baron at the correct moment and took Baron. So now this game has kind of shifted back in the favor of Blight Gaming, who looked like they were going to get snowballed out of the match just a few minutes ago. Really has shifted back in their favor. They've now caught up on kills. They have gotten all the outer towers, so they're still behind by 2 towers, but they have a Baron to work with for the next 3 minutes. So really, at this point, ButtonMasherz are going to have to defend and try to do their best to wait this out and then try to swing the advantage back to their side once again. Anyway, one thing I was told by the ButtonMasherz, by QQ, when I was set these replays, was that one of their players, Guncraze, the Jarvan player, had to leave shortly after this match, so they had to start speeding up their play in order to try to win the game before he had to go. So that was a factor in this match, is my understanding, that as they started to get into these late game situations, they had to start playing faster, and we might be seeing that right now. I'm not 100% sure when that started to affect them, but we'll see. In any case, right now, unfortunately, what they really need to do is to be patient and to wait out this Baron. That is, not go in and try reckless engages, but if someone has to leave, and I'm sure we've all been in that situation when you're playing with friends before, then sometimes that means that you have to try to adapt to the situation. So anyway, looks like they are going to fight for this tower. They really should give this up in an ideal world and not fight for this tower, but it looks like they're going to, and they actually are going to burst down Lemon God, so doing quite well in this fight nonetheless. Going after Wallstop, he's very low. Will the Malzahar Malefic Visions finish him off? No, Funky Butler are going to get finished off there. Wallstop still on 1 hit. They just need to catch up to him. There is the Jarvan Cataclysm. Atlanta got a flash out of that. Dark Cloud still chasing one more shot. There it is. Now going after Atlanta. Let's see. Has he used his ult? Mandatory Cloud has gone back into the fight. People bursting down on both sides, but Dark Cloud is still alive, and he does the most damage on this team. Cheesy Fry's still up, but he has no mana right now. Dark Cloud is still alive, but 3 for 3 trade, it looks like it's going to be. The ButtonMasherz did lose that tower, but that was a good fight for them. To go 3 for 3 when the other team has Baron means that you came out on top. They cleared Baron off of all but 2 players. It's a shame that Cheesy Fries ran out of mana. Otherwise, I feel like they could have continued chasing. Might have been able to get a kill on Atlanta. Atlanta was pretty low at the end of that fight, but when your Malzahar player can't cast any spells, he's not that useful. Let's just check this. Wow, look at this. Vayne did all of the damage to QQ, apparently. True damage, physical damage, physical damage. So, in any case, let's try to look at the items while we're just waiting here. Nothing really gonna happen until people revive from the base. Funky Butt Lover stacking them. Wow, he's gotten a needlessly large rod. That's interesting. Has the Negatron Cloak. Cheesy Fries, pretty much what we've seen before, but has added Rhyalize for the extra survivability and the slow. Dark Cloud did finish that Bloodthirster. He's also got a Guardian Angel, so that's going to make him even more tanky. Look at Dark Cloud just carrying this game at 13-3-5. Really amazing how well he's doing here. Looks like the AP carries have struggled a little bit more. Gun Craze now has finished Frozen Heart, and it looks like he's building a Trinity for his next item. Also has Wriggles and Banshee's Veil. And then QQ has the Rod of Ages and Will of the Ancients. It doesn't really have anything else, just has the incomplete Chain Vest and Negatron Cloak. That's what you buy when you just want armor and magic resist like right now, as opposed to finishing an item. So anyway, it looks like he just wanted to be more tanky. Anyway, if we have a minute, I'll look at what Blight Gaming has on their champions. Let's see, Lemon God has Death Cap and Guardian Angel. Interesting combination there. It does make sense on Cho'Gath to combine those items, but you just don't see those too often, because usually the AP champs that build a lot of ability power are also the same champs that are pretty squishy, and Guardian Angel won't be that helpful on them. Let's see, Mandatory Cloud also has Guardian Angel, has a Quicksilver to defend against Malzahar, presumably, against that Malzahar ult. Also has Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, and is building something else, maybe Infinity Edge, I would presume. Probably doesn't want Black Cleaver off that. Anyway, this tower is still, ButtonMasherz still have decent access to this tower. I did see the Vayne player in bottom lane a minute ago, but I would have to imagine that Vayne is back here in the base at this point in time. If they just try to push into this base, it's probably not going to go well for them. This push may be a reaction to Gun Craze's situation here. Otherwise, I don't think you'd want to push this aggressively. They probably need to just look for a better place to fight than this. They're very far from their own towers. Anyway, QQ in a little bit of danger here, running his ult. He does have his blue buff here. Harari going to get engaged upon by the rest of the team. Funky Butt Lover waited a little too long to pop his ult, I think. And indeed, he's going to go down there, but they are going to score a kill on Harari. So the support's down on both sides. Atlanta is quite low, but still alive there. There comes the Amumu ult right there. Dark Cloud has been exhausted, needs to get out there. And are they going to burst down Dark Cloud? Yes, but he does have the Guardian Angel. Lots of people low on both sides. There's the Valkyrie. So he is going to escape right there. Atlanta is quite low as well. Wall stop very, very low. So 2 for 1 right now in favor of Blight Gaming. A lot of low champs on both sides. There's a great bandage toss, but Wallstop is going to get bursted down for that. Mandatory Cloud. There's the Guardian Angel. There's the Guardian Angel on Lemon God. So just so many Guardian Angels here. Dark Cloud going to Valkyrie in. There's an exhaust. I guess somebody hadn't used one yet. A little surprising. Can they finish off Vayne here? Gun Crazed. Oh, very low. Going to get shielded, but going to go down. So both AD carries killed as well. After all that fighting and all those Guardian Angels getting popped, it looks like it was 4 for 3 in favor of the ButtonMasherz. They have 2 champions up. Only Lemon God still alive on the part of Blight Gaming. So it looks like this is their opportunity to try to push into the base. It's going to be tough because Cho is going to go and heal, and champions are reviving. Harari has already revived, so I don't know how successful they're going to be on this. Just that fight dragged on so long that people were able to go back and revive, and yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to get this. That fight just lasted so long that people who died at the start of the fight are already reviving before they're able to push. Dark Cloud now trying to recall back to base in a little bit of a silly spot. Banshee's Veil is going to catch that Taric stun though, and not able to take this blue buff. So it wound up with Cheesy Fries having double buff. That blue buff got passed around a bunch of times in the middle of that fight, went from person to person, just back and forth like a series of trading cards or something. In any case, we're back to where we started again. Still very even, 23-21. ButtonMasherz, I mean, I would say they came out ahead in that fight, but they didn't come out decisively ahead, so they weren't able to turn that into anything aside from, you know, 2 or 3 hits on that middle tower. So not too good for their situation. I mean, just no real change in the situation overall. The game's just still kind of in a bit of a stalemate. Both sides very even. Baron is back up. That's going to be the next big fight. Really, it'll come down to how people fight again. Dark Cloud and Mandatory Cloud. Well, the two clouds, the two AP carries. I didn't even notice that. Battle between the two clouds. They're both doing so much damage. Each of them are doing the most damage on their relative teams. The AP carries Cheesy Fries and Atlanta are both also doing a lot of damage. But look at this. This is a huge issue for ButtonMasherz. Giant wave pushing bottom lane. That means that they're going to be at a huge disadvantage. Blight Gaming has seen this. They're going to go for the Baron, and that is bad news. ButtonMasherz just need to give up this Baron and then defend. That's really the only thing they can do. They were not able to take that Baron. It was taken by Blight Gaming. And Dark Cloud, wow, going forward so aggressively, is out of position, and he's going to go down. Now Funky Butt Lover killed as well. Gun Crazed, they just should not have tried to fight for that Baron. I guess they felt that they had to because they couldn't wait out the Baron timer, but they needed to just give up that Baron. As soon as QQ went back to defend this bottom lane, they could not fight for that Baron. And unfortunately, they chose to fight for that Baron. And at this point, they're down. They only have 2 champions up. It's a 4-on-2 with Atlanta's team, Blight Gaming, having Baron. So this is a very bad situation for them. And now Mandatory Cloud is going to chase Cheesy Fries. Looks like he's not going to chase into the base, but going to be very hard to defend this. Even though there's this big minion wave pushing top, I'm not sure that it's going to matter with only 2 champs here. Blight Gaming can pull 4 here, and they will easily get this inhibitor. Lemon God can tank that all day as Cho'Gath. He's just a giant Loch Ness monster with that skin there, and he shouldn't have any trouble getting this. Yeah, QQ just going to have to back off. People will be reviving shortly, but they will lose an inhib off of this, and that is bad news. QQ apparently missing everyone with that. Oh, right there. Are they going to be able to finish off All Stop? No! Down to 70 HP, but going to survive. And now QQ going after Mandatory Cloud. Yes, going to clean up that kill, so very nicely done. But QQ is taking a ton of damage as well. I don't know why he's chasing so aggressively. Does he have anything to lifesteal off of 27 HP? Going to survive. Wow, is that close. I don't know why he went in and chased so aggressively when he could have just backed off and not gone in like that. Anyway, ButtonMasherz did lose their inhibitor there, but they now are going to have a 5-on-4 advantage for the next 50 seconds or so. They will not have Baron though, which is a bit of an issue. I'm a little surprised by the Thornmail choice on the Swain player QQ. That seems a little bit weird. Anyway, they're pushing aggressively. Again, I feel like this has to be a reaction to Gun Craze's situation. Really what they need to do is sort of back up, wait out this Baron buff, and then look to engage after that. They can wait for the Baron and their own inhib to respawn. There's really no reason to be pushing into the enemy base otherwise. This is just a really, really aggressive move to make. I don't think this is going to work out all that well. Look at how much damage Funky Butt Lover took. He just taking that true damage from the Cho'Gath Beast. Now they did get the inhib, but they're taking so much damage. As soon as people start to revive, this is not going to go well. Harari is very low. Gun Craze is going to finish him off, but now Gun Craze is in a lot of danger. Atlanta is here. Can Gun Craze manage to get out of here? Yes, actually. I thought that was actually his death animation playing. Instead, it was him flagpoling over the wall there. So they were able to get that tower. I'm really quite surprised that worked out as well as it did. They got the tower and went 1-for-1 in kills. So not a bad outcome at all. It felt like when you just take three or 4 champs and just run straight at the tower, that usually doesn't work out that well if the other team also has Baron. But in that particular case, it did. Anyway, right there, Blight Gaming did take the blue of the ButtonMasherz earlier after they got this inhib. I'm assuming that on their way out, they took that, which is pretty key. Again, they want to deny that blue to Swain. More important, again, on Swain than Malzahar. Cheesy Fries has almost maxed out his build here. He also has Will of the Ancients, and yes, you can buy double Will of the Ancients. You do give the benefit to both champions get benefit from it. I mean, it's not 100% efficient, but it does make sense. So there's ButtonMasherz still in this match, still a very close match, 26-25 in kills. They do still have Baron buff on about half of the team for Blight Gaming, but really at this point, this is a good time to fight because Mandatory Cloud is not with Blight Gaming. If they could manage to pick somebody off here, it wouldn't be the worst time to fight. That Lizard ran all the way down here. Lizard has a much longer leash than a lot of the other buffs for whatever reason. Anyway, Cheesy Fries coming over here to defend against Mandatory Cloud. Look at this build. Quicksilver, Guardian Angel, Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, Phantom Dancer, Berserker Greaves, and Double Pot. So he's fully maxed out now. He can't get any stronger. He's completed this build. Over here, Guncraze in a little bit of trouble. This tower is just about dead. They probably should just go ahead and give that one up. Cheesy Fries, even though he's really strong, I'm not sure that he can defend this against Mandatory Cloud. Yeah, they just gave up that tower. They probably need Dark Cloud to go over and defend that. The two clouds are really the only ones that can fight against each other. They're just both so strong at this point in time. Anyway, QQ in a little bit of trouble there. Going to get hit on the Rapture, the knockout. Oh, he's going to go down before he can even turn on his ult, and that is a major misplay there. They need QQ in these team fights here. Funky Butt Lover has popped Alistar ultimate, but this is really not a good situation here for the ButtonMasherz. They need QQ to be in this fight. Now Dark Cloud in a lot of trouble. There goes his Guardian Angel. He can probably Valkyrie out of that. They are going to use his flash, but now Funky Butt Lover has gone down as well. It's a 5-on-3, and they're already at the Nexus Tower with minions. This is a really bad situation for the ButtonMasherz. QQ, I just felt like he got caught there a little bit unawares, and then into the Amumu stuns, and this looks like it's going to be the end. Yeah, with Dark Cloud going down, that will be the end of the game. There's no way they can defend this. They might be able to get Atlanta, but that's about it. And looks like that is going to be, oh, people going down on both sides, people suiciding into the fountain, but that is going to be it. Everybody down on the part of the ButtonMasherz, and that's GG. So I'm surprised that that game ended so fast. It seemed like it was going to go on a while longer, but a bad engage turning into a bad fight, spelling doom for the ButtonMasherz. Anyway, we'll wrap this up and try to conclude the match. Here are the final numbers. You can feel free to look over them. I'm not going to talk for too long just because this video was already really long. It was a 53-minute game or something or whatever, so not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. You can feel free to look over the items. I guess that the fact that Guncrazed had to leave was a major factor. That's what I was told when I was sent these replays. I didn't see that too much. I guess the ButtonMasherz had to play overly aggressive. It felt more to me that the game swung when they just got bad engages at a couple times. The play when Guncraze was caught at the top of the map, and then the other team, Team Blight, or Blight Gaming, was able to take Baron. I thought that that was the turning point of the match, where Blight Gaming was able to score. It was like a 3-for-1, and they got Baron. I just thought that that swung the mat. They had one or two other bad engages where people just kind of got caught, so maybe that was a factor, but in the end, I think that they just kind of got caught in some bad fights on a couple of occasions, and maybe didn't fight as well tactically as they would have liked. Still, nonetheless, a pretty good performance from the ButtonMasherz. They did make it to, I believe, the quarterfinals of this competition, the Go for LoL Cup. So they are doing quite well in these competitions. They're routinely making it into the final couple of teams. So anyway, we'll continue to cast these as the team continues to perform in these tournaments. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Stick around. Hope you enjoyed this channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Take care.